Greetings everyone, Arcimedes here, and welcome back to another brick-filled LEGO video. Today, we're going to be taking a closer look at my latest mecha mine creation, the ThunderStrider Corporation FireHammer, and some of the techniques I used within it. So, let's get started, shall we? This model originated from Kvister. This little minifig creation I built a couple years ago. I thought he was pretty cool looking, and as I designed him, I saw in my mind the ThunderStrider story, the ThunderStrider universe. I also knew that he needed a mecha, and so I began designing one in my mind. Since his first mech would be a ThunderStrider Corporation mech, I knew it had to be industrial, very powerful, with fiery, incendiary details, and a crushing claws. I also knew that it had to have heavy armor. As for the color scheme, I knew I wanted the FireHammer to stand out from the ordinary Iron Hammer infantry, which are black and gray, since this would be a general, a leader in the army. Also, I knew that higher-ranking ThunderStrider officials would have a white and red color scheme. But I also knew that Kvister was not the highest ranking in the ThunderStrider Society. So thus, I wanted to combine the two color schemes together. Gray, red, and white. I started out this mecha designing the legs. Designing a basic segmented model with gray on the outsides, with a streak of red in the center, and some white in the background. I then moved on to the torso. There's nothing too special here. I just wanted to make sure that the torso mimicked the legs. Then I designed the arms. Now the arms and legs I wanted to look almost identical, as if they had been molded off of the same design and just placed in different places in the model. I then designed the feet, once again, trying to mimic the look of the legs and the arms, and then worked on the hands. The hands I had a lot of difficulty with, but I eventually used this white octagonal piece as the base, and used these curved pieces to create the fingers. I think they look pretty good. Since the FireHammer was an upgrade to the Iron Hammer infantry, I decided that it should maintain some of the similar weapons, only slightly more streamlined and more efficient. Here, you can see we do have the same machine rocket launchers on the arms. However, they're slid back to the sides so that the robot can have hands and thus wield more powerful weapons. But I still had a problem with the model. As you can see here, the shoulder armor on the side extended far out from the actual shoulder joint and made this whole top look very unsupported. Since the signature of ThunderStrider Corporation mecha are heavy armor that protects all the joints, I knew I had to do something about it. But I wasn't sure how. I needed to make a design that mimicked this octagonal clip brick. However, I also needed that design to fit in with the top of the shoulder armor, and thus I needed to make it slightly bigger. This puzzled me for hours. Absent-mindedly picking through a collection of pieces, I stumbled across these robot hands and droid arms. As I looked at them more closely, I realized that the droid arm shared a similar shape to the octagonal clip brick. Absent-mindedly picking the pieces together, I suddenly found that I held a quarter of that clip brick piece. Perhaps it did not clip perfectly, but the shaping was perfect. I then simply attached this quarter octagon to the octagonal clip piece with some good old-fashioned clips, and then fitted it onto the arm. It looked perfect, in my humble opinion, elegantly transitioning between the arm and the shoulder. I hope I can use this trick for future models. It really has a nice touch. I then designed the cockpit using this red dome piece as a windscreen for the model, and using a one-piece stickered brick I had from the Imperial Star Destroyer model as the back weapons dispenser. But somehow it didn't look complete. From the tops of the shoulders to the head, it seemed very flat and just didn't fit well with me. So I decided to add something extra. Using sideways building, I designed these rocket launcher assemblies with this nice little V shape and fitted on to the back of the model. They kind of reminded me of epaulettes, which made sense given the generalship of this model. I then designed the FireHammer's melee weapon, the FireHammer, which I designed using these small, transparent dome topper pieces to create a vibrating, semi-exposed look to the model, and using Technic beams, Technic half beams to be precise, to create some bracing around the outside. I thought it fit nicely with the rest of the design of the model, and I rather like it. I will admit, however, that the back section of the hammer, which is supposed to be some kind of rocket launcher to move it faster, doesn't really appeal to me. I just really wasn't quite sure what to do with the back segment, and kind of threw together the first thing that came to my mind. However, I think it's a fitting weapon for this giant mecha. In general, my biggest concern when designing this model was trying to make every single piece fit with the other, making them blend, making the model congruent, so to speak. I think it turned out quite well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked this video. I hope that it was interesting, or informative, or at least that it entertained you for a few minutes. If you like this video, please comment, rate, or subscribe. If you didn't like this video, still, please comment and rate. And if you really want, still, please subscribe too. If you have any questions, just comment me, and I'll be happy to answer. If you'd like to see more of this model, and some of its backstory, please click on the link in the description. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you all farewell. My name is Arcimedes36, and I'll see you next Sunday.